Okay. So in last class, we discussed some note points related to centripetal force. Today also, few concepts are there related to centripetal force. After 2-3 note points, we will do the problems. Okay. Right. You see, suppose we have taken the rope in the form of a loop. We have taken the rope in the form of a loop like this. The rope is taken in the form of a loop. That means the two ends of the rope are joined together so that it becomes a circular loop. This loop is made to rotate with angular velocity omega. This loop is made to rotate with angular velocity omega about the center of the loop. Then what happens? You tell me. Then what happens? Stop your video sharing. Then what happens? When the rope is made to rotate with constant angular velocity, then what happens? When the rope is made to rotate here, every element of the rope experiences the centrifugal force. That's why every element try to move away like this from the center. On every part of the rope, centrifugal force acts, and every part of the rope try to move away from the center, because this body is not connected. Every part of the rope is not connected to center by means of wires or strings, etc. That's why every part of this rope, that is called element, every element of the rope experiences centrifugal force. For example, you write here. Here you imagine the small element here. Actually, I drawn with more length, but in order to see the diagram, I drawn with more length. Element means that is infinitesimally small element having length say dl. Okay, infinitesimally small element means length is negligible, but in order to see the diagram here, I drawn with more length. The angle subtended by the element at the center. Angle subtended by the element. Element means element is in the form of arc. Angle subtended by element at the center is a d theta, because this length of the element is very small. That's why angle made by this element at the center is also very small, d theta. Tends to 0 but not equal to 0. Okay. Now, whenever this rope here, rope, when this rope is rotating with angular velocity omega, this element experiences centrifugal force. No, what is the direction of centrifugal force? Away from the center. In this direction, centrifugal force acts. Centrifugal CF. Centrifugal force acts on this element in upward direction. Mass of the element is say dm. Mass of the element is dm. Then what is the centrifugal force acts on the element? Centrifugal force acts on the element. Centrifugal force on element. Centrifugal force on element dfcf, small force, of course, dfcf, that is equal to mass of the element dm into radius of the circular path. Suppose the radius of the circle, the radius of the loop is a capital R, then r mr omega square, because the angular velocity with which it is rotating is omega given. Okay, dmr omega square. This is the centrifugal force. This centrifugal force pulls the element away from the center. Similarly, each and every element is pulled away from the center. But at the same time, suppose if you consider this element, then the remaining part of the rope pulls this element. Because of the centrifugal force, the element try to move away from the center. At the same time, the remaining part of this loop, exactly at the two ends of the element here, the remaining part of the loop pulls while moving the element away from the center, the remaining part of the loop pulls the element along this direction with certain force called tension. So here at this point, tension T acts in this direction. As it is the same rope, the tension at this point is also same. Tension is always along tangential direction. That means you extend this tension direction. Exactly at this point, for this circular loop, when you draw the tangent, along the direction of the tangent, this tension is there. Here also, along this direction, tension is there. Okay, T. Now, no doubt, as this line is the tangent drawn at this point, definitely here angle is 90, here also 90. Okay, this total angle is d theta. Then what about this angle? D theta by 2, no? D theta by 2. Okay, now If the tension in this direction is theta, then what is the component of tension in this direction? The component of this tension in this direction is how much? If it is d theta by 2, this is 90 minus d theta by 2 because it is 90 degree. 90 minus d theta by 2. The component of tension in this direction is equal to t cos 90 minus theta d theta by 2 means t sin theta, d theta by 2. D theta by 2. The component of this one in this direction is this one. Similarly, in this direction component is t sin 90 minus d theta by 2 means cos d theta by 2. Similarly, for this also you resolve into components. One component is same tension, no? That's why one component is t sin d theta by 2, and the other component in this direction is t cos d theta by 2. Of course, these two cancel. So here on the element in the diagram along vertical direction, centrifugal force acts on the element upwards, and on the same element, the component of the tension t sin d theta by 2, t sin d theta by 2. That means 2t sin d theta by 2 acts towards the center. Even then, as the rope is under equilibrium and it is rotating constantly with a angular velocity omega without break, then net force acts on each and every element in the loop is 0. That's why on this element, centrifugal force acts upwards, and the tension component to 2t sin d theta by 2 acts towards center. Okay, that's why these two will be balanced. Then only it is under equilibrium. Every element is under equilibrium like this only. So this is equal to centrifugal force dm into r omega square. Now 2t sin d theta by 2 is equal to mass of the element. Mass of the element means, suppose you say mass per unit length lambda is equal to mass of the entire loop m by circumference is equal to 2 pi r. That means the loop having length 2 pi r having mass small m. Then what is the mass per unit length? Means mass by length. That gives the mass per unit length. Okay, now the length of the element is dl now. So if the mass per unit length is this one, then what is the mass of this element of length dl? Means lambda into dl into r omega square. Okay, therefore 2t sin d theta by 2 is equal to lambda into dl. You see, dl is the length of the arc. Angle subtended by arc at the center is equal to d theta. So d theta is equal to, we can write arc by radius, no? Angle subtended by arc of length dl at the center is equal to d theta. D theta is equal to arc by radius, we can write dl by r. Dl means r into d theta, we can write into r omega square. Now 2t into, as dl is the length of the element, angle subtended by element at the center is also very small. That's why d theta is very small. Hence, if in the angle, in the sine of this angle, the angle is very small, sine theta can be written as theta only if angle is small, very small. That's why sine d theta by 2 can be written as approximately d theta by 2 only. That is equal to lambda r into d theta into r omega square. Of course, r square here. D theta cancel. 2 cancel here, no? 2 cancel. Okay, then tension T is equal to, because tension they asked, tension T is equal to lambda r square omega square, lambda r square omega square by, that's all only, lambda r square omega square. Okay, therefore T is equal to, lambda means you write this one, m by 2 pi r into r square omega square. Here r square cancel, no? Therefore T is equal to mr omega square by 2 pi. This is the formula for tension in the string, tension in the rope. This is the formula for tension in the rope. So tension in the rope is equal to mr omega square by 2 pi. Mr omega square by 2 pi. This is the formula for tension. Okay. The same problem may be asked in different way also. Suppose it is a circular tube. The circular tube is filled with water. The same problem may be asked in different way also. All of you stop your video sharing. Remove chesemantara class nunchi. Here there is a circular tube. There is a circular tube. Okay. It is filled with water or any liquid having certain density. Okay. Then the circular tube is made to rotate. The water in the pipe or the liquid in the pipe try to move away from the center of the circular loop. But the edges of the pipe exert the reaction force on the loop inwards. Instead of tension, the reaction force we have to take in this direction, N. Their component is here. Normal action acts in this direction, normal action acts in this direction. You resolve them into components. Same formula you will get, but normal reaction exerted by the pipe on the water is how much? That means N we have to obtain. Same concept. Okay, suppose this is the water element. Centrifugal force acts on the water element in this direction. Centrifugal force acts on the water element in this direction. Okay, normal reaction is along this direction. Normal reaction is along this direction. You resolve them into components. Normal reaction is always perpendicular to the surface, means in this direction. You take their component in this direction. Here it is n cos something. Here if it is d theta by 2, this is d theta by 2. Then this component is n cos d theta by 2, it is n sin d theta by 2. N sin d theta by 2, n sin d theta by 2 cancel. Then this sum of the components here is equal to centrifugal force. In that way we can do. Okay, I think problem is there, we will do. Here there is a rope which is taken the form of a loop, and the rope is made to rotate with angular velocity omega. Okay, the rope is the combination of number of small parts, no, that is called element. You consider one such element. Whenever the rope is rotating with angular velocity omega, each and every part of the rope also rotating with angular velocity omega only. This element also rotating with same angular velocity omega. Because of that rotation of the elements here, every element experiences centrifugal force away from the center. If any body is making rotations, then every part of the body experiences centrifugal force away from the center. Okay, that's why here this element also experiences the centrifugal force away from the center. That's why this element try to move away from the center, but the remaining part of the rope pulls this element and prevent the moving of the element away from the center by pulling with certain force at this end of the element, which is called tension in the rope. Similarly, the tension in the rope here is also same because of symmetry. Okay, then you resolve this tension into components. The components of tension acts on the element towards the center is this sum of these two, and away from the center is this one. As this loop is rotating with a constant angular velocity, even then there is no breakage of the rope. Definitely net force on each and every element becomes zero. That's why this centrifugal force must be balanced by sum of the two tension components here, 2t sin d theta by 2. I made this equal. Then calculation part only. Okay. Right. So this is the formula for tension in the rope. Next. Shall I erase this one? Shall I erase this one? Okay, next here, conical pendulum is there. Sixth one, conical pendulum. Sixth one, conical pendulum. Here, a sphere of bob is suspended by means of a light inextensible string, and by means of the string, the bob or body is made to rotate in horizontal plane about the vertical axis. Here, this is the vertical axis. Okay, here from the fixed point, by means of a string, a sphere is suspended, and the sphere is made to rotate. The sphere is made to rotate about vertical axis in a horizontal plane by means of a string, as in the diagram. Here, this is the point of suspension, say O. It is the center of the circular path C. Here you see, one sphere is suspended by means of a light inextensible string of length L from the point of suspension O, and the body is made to rotate in horizontal plane like this about the vertical axis. Okay, in this case, what about the tension in the string? In this case, what is the tension in the string? Suppose the bob of the pendulum is made to rotate with angular velocity, say omega. Angular velocity omega. Now, whenever the bob is making rotations with constant angular velocity omega, at that time, the angle made by the string with vertical is, say, theta. Then tell me, what are the forces experienced by the bob here? One, weight always acts vertically downwards direction. Next, centrifugal force acts on the body away from the center because it is rotating like this, no? That's why centrifugal force acts from the center away from the center in this direction. That is equal to m into radius of the circular path. Suppose the radius of circular path r ankondi. R is not given, only L is given and theta is given. So if radius is r, then mr omega square is the centrifugal force. Next, definitely tension in the string acts in this direction. Resolve the tension into components. One component in this direction, another component in this direction. If it is theta, this is theta. So tension component in this direction is t cos theta. Here in this direction, t sin theta. Okay. Now you see, whenever the bob is making rotations about the vertical axis, then the bob neither rises upwards nor falls downwards. It is constantly rotating in the same circular path with constant angle theta. That's why definitely bob is under equilibrium along horizontal direction, along vertical direction also. Here, the weight always acts vertically downwards direction. No? Weight is always acting on the bob vertically downwards. Okay. So under equilibrium along horizontal direction, net force is 0. So sum of the force acts on the bob towards left and towards right are equal. So t sin theta is equal to mr omega square. Mr omega square. But r is not given. L is given. How we can write L value? So t sin theta is equal to m into r means, you see, this r can be written as L sin theta, no? Because this is L, this is theta and this is r. So from the right angle triangle, sin theta is equal to r by L, no? R is equal to L sin theta. That's why instead of r, we can write L sin theta into omega square. This is equation 1. Along, along horizontal vertical, t cos theta is equal to mg. Therefore, you divide these two, 1 by 2. 1 by 2 gives tan theta is equal to mm cancel. Then L sin theta into omega square by z. L sin theta is equal to, sorry, tan theta is equal to L sin theta into omega square by z. Of course, here you keep sin theta like this one. Here sin theta cancel, no? Sorry. Here sin theta will be cancelled. So here tt cancel. So remaining you write. From this, t is equal to ml omega square. T cos theta is equal to m into z. These are the two equations we got. Okay, from that we can, from any one of the equations, we can find the tension. From any one of the equations, we can find the tension. Theta they asked. So t is equal to mz. T is equal to, okay, from this t is equal to mz by cos theta, we can write this is one of the equations to find the tension. Okay, next, t is equal to, of course, we can write this also. Therefore, what is the tension in the string in terms of, okay, in terms of L and omega, tension in the string means we can write this also. T is equal to ml omega square. Okay, these are the formulas. Sometimes if you are given small r, then you keep t sin theta is equal to mr omega square only. Okay, t cos theta is equal to mg. When you divide these two, t sin theta by t cos theta is equal to mr omega square by mg. Mm cancel. Therefore, tan theta is equal to r omega square by z. We can write like this also. If you are given the radius of the circular path r, then we can write the formula for theta as this one. Formula for theta as this one. Or if they ask the tension, then t sin theta is equal to mr omega square, t cos theta is equal to mg. Then you spare these two and add them. Then t square is equal to mr omega square whole square plus mg whole square. Therefore, t is equal to under root you will get. So under root. This is also one more formula for tension. In this way, based on this r value, if r value is not given, instead of r in this formula, we have to write L sin theta. If r is given directly, then we can write like this to find the tension. Or by using these formulas, we can find the tension. Okay. What Varshit is ready? What is your doubt? What, Varshit Reddy? What is your doubt? Varshit Reddy. M. Varshit Reddy. What is your doubt?
సరే అక్కడ బాబు ఈక్విలిబ్రియం లో ఉందా సార్?
అంటే ఇటు మూవ్ కాదు, ఇటు మూవ్ కాదు, ఇదే సర్క్యులర్ పాత్ లో కంటిన్యూస్ గా రొటేట్ అవుతూ ఉంటుంది. The bob neither move towards left nor move towards right. That means along this direction net force is 0, no?
Okay,
Then
sir.
along this direction the bob moves with constant radius. That's why this distance does not change. That means along this direction net force is 0. Similarly, the bob neither raises, supports nor falls. That means along this direction also net force is 0.
Okay,
Only it is moving along the horizontal circular path like this, without raising upwards or falling down, or without moving away from the axis of rotation.
Okay, sir.
Okay, right.
Okay, understood, sir.
Right. So this is one more point. Next, 7th one. Seventh one is very, very important. 7th note point. That is very, very important one. Seventh one, you see, a particle having certain mass. Suppose it is a particle of mass m. Okay. A particle of mass m attached to the vertical axis. Here, this is the vertical axis. It is the vertical axis. A particle of mass m attached to a vertical axis by two strings, each of length L, each separated by a distance AB. Here you see, it is the point A, it is the point B. It is the axis of rotation. Here, a particle of mass m is attached to the points A and B by means of two strings like this. By means of two strings like this. Both strings are having same length. Okay, this is the particle P. Both the particle is fixed by means of two strings having length L each from the 2 points A and B, separated by a distance L. That means these 2 points are separated by distance L, and it is L, it is L. That's why it is the equilateral triangle, no? So angle here is 60. At every corner, angle is 60. Indirectly, it is given. Here, this is a particle of mass m. So whenever the particle is made to rotate with angular velocity omega, you see, here this particle is made to rotate about this axis with angular velocity omega. Then this particle experiences centrifugal force, no? Away from the center, the particle experiences centrifugal force. Suppose this distance is say r, then radius of the circular path is equal to, radius of the circular path is r only, no? Then mr omega square is the centrifugal force acting on the particle away from the axis of rotation. Suppose if these strings are not there, the particle move away from the axis of rotation, but at the same time, as this particle is connected by means of the strings from the points A and B, these two strings pulls the body towards the axis of rotation with these strings with certain tension. As the particle is symmetric about these 2 points with the help of the strings, definitely same tension will be developed here. But at the same time, if weight is considered, because whenever the particle makes rotations about this axis like this, then in vertical upward direction there is no weight. Weight acts on the particle vertically downwards direction only, no? Even though the particle makes rotations like this, because of weight component, the try to comes down. When it try to comes down, then this thing will be having less tension compared with this one. Whenever it try to comes down, this thing is pulled in this direction, and whenever it try to comes down, this thing will move in this direction, so that the tension here is less and tension here is more. So in the upper string, the tension is at T1. In the lowest string, tension is at T2. Here tension is at T1. Here tension is at T2. Which one is greater? T2 is greater or T1 is greater? T1 is greater or T2 is greater? T1 is greater because already I said because of weight the particle comes down, due to that the string becomes slacks, అంటే వదులుగా అయిపోయి లూజ్ గా అయిపోతుంది, దానివల్ల టెన్షన్ తగ్గిపోతుంది ఇక్కడ. కాబట్టి సో టెన్షన్ T2 is less than tension T1 obviously. Okay, now suppose it is 60 means definitely it is 60 because it is L, it is L, it is L means it is a equilateral triangle. So this angle 60, this is 60, it is 60, but it is a bisector now, that's why this angle is equal to 30 degree. Now what is the component of this tension in this direction? T2 cos 30. The component of this tension also in this direction is equal to T1 cos 30. Vertical component in this direction T1 sin 30. Downwards direction, of course in general we do in general because you say theta, in terms of theta we can obtain the result here. Okay, in terms of theta you write it is theta, say this is theta, so this is theta by 2. In general you do theta by 2 because if you substitute the data problem becomes simple, we will not get the formula. So in general first we have to do this is also equal to theta by 2. Okay, so this is theta by 2, you write. As the lengths are equal I have written 60 60 60. If lengths are not same, this length is not equal to length of this thing, in that case it becomes a isosceles triangle. In such case angle here is say totally theta, this angle is totally theta, then it is theta by 2, it is theta by 2. Okay, then it is sin theta by 2. Here tension component in this direction is T2 sin theta by 2. Okay, now because of these three forces T1, T2 and centrifugal forces, the particle is under equilibrium. It does not rises, supports, falls downwards, or moving away from the axis of rotation or moving towards the axis of rotation. That means it is under equilibrium along vertical direction and horizontal direction. Horizontal direction away from the axis of rotation. That's why so under equilibrium condition this total force acts on the particle towards axis of rotation is T1 cos 30, T1 cos theta by 2 plus T2 cos theta by 2. T1 cos theta by 2 plus T2 cos theta by 2 is equal to mr omega square, where r means this distance, r means this distance, r. Okay, it is along x-axis, along it is a equation 1. Along y-axis, that means along vertical direction, T1 sin theta by 2. T1 sin theta by 2 is equal to mg plus or T2 sin theta by 2 minus mg. This is equation 2. Okay, are you followed this one up to this? Okay, so we have to solve this problem. We have to solve this one. Okay, from this you see here from 1 cos theta by 2 we can take common, T1 plus T2 into cos theta by 2 is equal to mr omega square, that is equal to mr omega square, that is equation 3. From this you bring this T2 sin theta by 2 left and you take sin theta by 2 common, then T1 minus T2 into sin theta by 2 is equal to, okay, you write T2 minus something, it is plus now, T1 sin theta by 2 is equal to T2 cos sin theta by 2 plus mg. Okay, so you will get mg. Okay, this is equation 4. So from second equation we got T1 sin theta by 2 minus T2 sin theta by 2 is equal to mg, or you take sin theta by 2 common in both the terms, then you will get T1 minus T2 sin theta by 2 is equal to mg. Okay, now we got two equations. Okay, here what about r value? From this right angle triangle you take cos theta by 2, but cos theta by 2 is equal to R by L. R by L. R by L. Okay, therefore, implies R is equal to, we can write L cos theta by 2. No, you substitute the, instead of R, you substitute here, instead of R, from 3. T1 plus T2 is equal to, sorry, T1 plus T2 into cos theta by 2 is equal to M into R, means L cos theta by 2 into omega square. Cos theta by 2, cos theta by 2 cancel. So T1 plus T2 is equal to ML omega square, we can write now. This is equation 5. So T1 plus T2 is equal to, we got, next T1 minus T2 is equal to, T1 minus T2 is equal to sin theta by 2. Okay. So T1 minus T2 is equal to, here from this, T1 minus T2 is equal to mg by sin theta by 2. Okay. These are the two equations. You solve them. To find T2 value, you add these two. When you add these two, then 2T1 is equal to, T2 will be cancelled. Then ML omega square plus mg by sin theta by 2. Okay, that is T1. Therefore, T1 is equal to ML omega square plus mg by sin theta by 2 whole by 2, we can write. This is T1 value. This is T1 value. This is T1 value. Next, what about T2 value? To obtain T2 value, you subtract, then minus, plus, minus. Then 2T2 is equal to this minus this. T1 will be cancelled. 5 minus 6 gives, it is 5 plus 6 gives. Okay. 2T2 is equal to this minus this. ML omega square minus mg by sin theta by 2. That is, therefore, T2 is equal to ML omega square minus mg by sin theta by 2 whole by 2. It is T2 value. This is equal to T2. This is tension T2. Okay. Here, whenever the string BP becomes taut, what is the condition for string BP or PB? BP becomes taut. What is the condition? Tell me. What is your doubt? Vamshi Krishna, what is your doubt? Vamshi Krishna. Vamshi Krishna, what is your doubt?
Hello, sir.
What is your doubt?
Sir, I don't understand the 7th node point whole, sir. Full.
Whole.
Yes, sir.
About the vertical axis, this particle is made to rotate in a horizontal plane by means of two strings having same length L each.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Just to imagine in general, every physics problem we must think in a general way. So about
Okay,
the vertical
sir.
axis, by means of two strings, the particle is made to rotate like this. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Here the length of these two strings are same. As this particle is made to rotate about this vertical axis with angular velocity omega, then this particle experiences centrifugal force mr omega square. R is the distance of this particle from the axis of rotation or from this vertical axis. That is R. Then mr omega square. Whenever this particle try to come away from the axis of rotation, and the axis nunchi ituvaipu vaddam anukunnappudu, these two strings pulls the particle in this direction and in this direction with tensions now.
Yes, sir.
It is T1 and it is T2. Now, suppose if this angle is theta, this angle is theta, this is 90 minus theta. Of course, this total angle is imagined as theta. You take This total angle is theta, I said. Okay. This total angle is theta. Then it is the angular bisector, no? So it is theta by 2, it is theta by 2. Now divide this tension T1 into components. One component in this direction, another component in this direction. Similarly, T2 components divided. Okay. Here, along vertical direction, T1 sin theta by 2 acts upwards and the sum of these two acts downwards direction. Along horizontal direction, mr omega square, r means this radius of this circular path, which is the distance of the particle from the axis of rotation, acts in this direction, and the tension components T1 cos theta by 2, T2 cos theta by 2 acts in this direction. Actually, these are the theta because we imagine this total angle is theta. That's why this half of the angle is theta by 2. We can write theta by 2 here and here. We can write theta by 2. Okay.
Okay, sir.
It is theta by 2. It is theta by 2. So totally towards axis of rotation, T1 cos theta by 2, T2 cos theta by 2 acts. Okay. And away from the axis of rotation, along x-axis, this mr omega square acts. Even then, as the particle neither raises upwards nor falls, neither move towards left nor towards right, then along x-axis net force 0, along y-axis net force 0. That's why this is equal to sum of these two. This is equal to sum of these two. I have written this.
Okay, sir.
Now here from equation 3, T1 plus T2 into cos theta by 2 is equal to mr omega square. R means from this right angle triangle, cos theta by 2 is equal to r by L, no? Then
Yes,
r
sir.
equal to L cos theta by 2, no? In this formula, instead of r, I have substituted that one, L cos theta by 2. Then cos theta
Okay.
by 2, cos theta by 2 cancel. I got T1 plus T2 is equal to ml omega square. Similarly, from this, T1 minus T2 is equal to mg by sin theta by 2. When you add these two, T2 will be cancelled and T1 is equal to something I got. When you subtract them, T1 will be cancelled and T2 is equal to something I got.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now, you see, now for the string BP means this one. It is B, it is P, no? It is B. For the string BP to be taut అంటే straight గా ఉంటాం, slack కాకుండా అంటే వదులుగా లేకుండా tight గా ఉండటం. For the string BP to be taut, what is the condition? For the string BP to be taut, what is the condition? ఇది టాట్ అవ్వాలి అంటే డెఫినెట్ గా దీంట్లో ఎంతో కొంత టెన్షన్ ఉండాలి, లేదా జస్ట్ 0 కావచ్చు, బట్ నెవర్ బి లెస్ దాన్ 0. ఇక్కడ ఫర్ ద స్ట్రింగ్ BP టు బి టాట్, ద కండిషన్ ఈస్ T2 tension T2 must be greater than or equal to 0. Greater than or equal to 0. What about T2? T2 means this one, no? So therefore, ml omega square minus mg by sin theta by 2 greater than or equal to 0. Okay. I will erase this one. From this, ml omega square greater than or equal to mg by sin theta by 2. M cancel. Mm cancel. Okay, therefore, omega square is equal to omega square greater than or equal to g by L sin theta by 2, or omega greater than or equal to root z by L sin theta by 2. Okay, this is the condition for the lowest string to be taut. For string BP means lowest string to be taut, the angular velocity greater than or equal to root g by L sin theta by 2. Okay, what is the minimum angular velocity with which it is to be rotated so that the string becomes taut? Minimum means we have to take is equal to. So therefore, R minimum angular velocity with which the particle can be rotated so that the string becomes taut. Minimum means equal to, you take equal to root g by L sin theta by 2. This is the minimum angular velocity with which the particle is to be rotated. Okay. Suppose if this is this is L, this is L, this is L, all are equal, then theta is equal to 60 degree. Then theta by 2 means 30, sin 30, 1 by 2. That means 2z by L under root. So omega greater than or equal to root 2z by L. Our minimum angular velocity is equal to root g by L, you will get, no, sorry, 2z by L you will get, no. Omega minimum is equal to root z, 2z by L you will get. Okay. This is the case. Next. Shall I raise this part? Okay. Next, eighth one. Suppose to the vertical axis, a rod is fixed. To the vertical axis, a rod is fixed. A rod is fixed like this. Okay. Here it is a smooth rod. Over this smooth rod, one ring is passed over the smooth rod and it is connected to a spring, light spring. One end of the light spring is fixed to free end of the rod, and at the other end the ring is fixed. Other end the ring is fixed. The ring can move smoothly without friction along the rod. Initially, the ring is exactly at the axis of rotation of the rod. Okay. Now, mass of the ring is say m. Whenever this rod is made to rotate about this vertical axis with angular velocity omega, what happens? You tell me. Whenever the rod is made, this horizontal rod is made to rotate with about this vertical axis with angular velocity omega, what about the ring? What about the ring position? Is it moved towards this one or away from the axis of rotation? Away from the axis of rotation, because the ring experiences centrifugal force. The ring experiences centrifugal force. That's why the ring moves away from the axis of rotation, and whenever the ring comes to this position, actually the ring experiences centrifugal force away from the axis of rotation. Due to that, the ring move in this direction, and as long as the ring move in this direction, spring compresses, because the other end of the spring is fixed, no? That's why spring compresses. Then spring force acts on the ring towards axis of rotation, that is Fs, and centrifugal force Fc, centrifugal force FCF acts on the ring in this direction, and the ring is under equilibrium at this position. When ring is under equilibrium position here, suppose the ring is displaced through a distance x whenever it is under equilibrium position. At the time when ring is under equilibrium, ring is under equilibrium. When ring is under equilibrium, okay, on the ring having mass m, centrifugal force FCF acts in this direction, and whenever the spring is compressed, the spring force pushes the ring away from this their displacement. No, ring ఇటువైపు మూవ్ అయిందంటే దా డిస్ప్లేస్మెంట్ ని అపోజ్ చేస్తూ స్ప్రింగ్ ఫోర్స్ ఇటువైపు పనిచేస్తుంది. అండర్ ఈక్విలిబ్రియం స్ప్రింగ్ ఫోర్స్ అండ్ సెంట్రిఫికల్ ఫోర్స్ బోత్ ఆర్ ఈక్వల్. ఓకే, Fs is equal to FCF. What about Fs? Spring force. Whenever this ring is under equilibrium, as the ring displaces through a length equal to x, the spring is compressed by x. No, that's why spring force is equal to k into x, where k is the spring constant or stiffness constant or force constant of the spring. Okay, this is equal to centrifugal force. As the ring makes rotations, at this point, this is the circular path of the ring. Okay, that's why mx omega square, mr omega square. Mr omega square means this r is equal to x only, no? So mx omega square. Therefore, xx cancel. This is a formula for centrifugal force, no? Because we are given omega. That's why I have written in terms of omega. So k is equal to m omega square. Or here they asked, in the question they asked, what about omega? They asked, what about omega? So from this omega is equal to, we can write k by m under root. That means root k by m, no? Root k by m. Okay. Here x is the compression of the spring. Suppose if the same diagram, but ring is kept here, the ring is kept here, then whenever it is rotated, the ring move away through a displacement x. That x is the extension, and whenever it is under equilibrium, spring force acts in this direction, centrifugal force acts in this direction. One end of the spring is fixed to the axis of rotation, and at the other end ring is attached, and it is made to rotate like this. Then the spring is moving away. Okay, of course one problem is there, we'll do. The spring is moving, the ring is moving away, so that through what distance the ring moves, through the same length the spring is extended. So spring force acts towards the axis of rotation, centrifugal force acts away from the axis of rotation. Again you will get the same formula. In such a way also they may ask the question. Okay, right. Okay, we'll do some problems. These are the some important concepts related to note, related to centripetal force. Okay, some more points are also there. Tomorrow we'll discuss some more points. Okay, one more exam application is also there. We will discuss that also first. A rod, next one more point, ninth one. A uniform rod is made to rotate about one end in a horizontal plane with angular velocity omega. Then tension the rod at a distance x from the axis of rotation. About the vertical axis, this is vertical axis. A rod is fixed to the vertical axis perpendicular to the axis. Okay, now the rod is made to rotate with angular velocity omega about this vertical axis. Then rod makes rotations in horizontal plane. No? Rod is fixed to axis perpendicular to axis of rotation. So here the rod is made to rotate vertical about vertical axis, means definitely rod rotates in a horizontal plane with angular velocity omega. At that time they asked what is the tension in the rod at a distance x from the axis of rotation. From the distance x from the axis of rotation, what is the tension in the rod? Here at this point, what is the tension they asked? Mass of the rod is m and length of the rod is say L. This is the data given. This is the data given. Okay. So here, suppose if you consider, you see, it is rod. It is the rod means definitely each and every part, whenever the rod is making rotations like this, each and every part of the rod also rotating along the circular path in horizontal plane. So each and every part of the rod experiences centrifugal force. Each and every part of the rod try to move away from the axis of rotation. The remaining rod pulls the elements in this direction with certain force. That is the tension in the rod at that point. Suppose you see tension they asked at this point. Then beyond this point, here this is one element, this is another element. In this way, number of elements are there. No, this is one such element having length say dx and mass dm. Whenever the rod is rotating like this, this element also makes rotations like this with same angular velocity omega. That's why this element try to move away because of centrifugal force. But at the same time, this remaining part of the rod pulls this element towards the axis of rotation. No? That is the tension in the rod at this point due to this element. Similarly, number of elements are there. Due to each and every element, as they experiences the centrifugal force, all centrifugal forces acts on all elements acts away from the rod, away from the axis of rotation. Whatever the sum of all the centrifugal forces acts on the rod up to this, with the same force equal to tension, the remaining part of the rod pulls this part of the rod towards axis of rotation. That is the tension in the rod at this point. So first of all, what is the tension at this point? Due to this element, when it is making rotations like this, when the rod is making rotations like this element which is at a distance x also making rotations in the horizontal plane. Okay, then what is the centrifugal force acts on the element away from the center? Here you see, this is the element having length dx. Okay, centrifugal force dm into radius of the circular path is x, because this element is at a distance x from the axis of rotation. That's why radius of circular path of this element is equal to x. dm into x into angular velocity square. mr omega square is the formula, no? R is equal to x here. Okay, now with this element, as this element try to move away because of the centrifugal force, at the same time, this part of the rod pulls this element towards center with certain tension, that is dt. So under equilibrium, as the element is under equilibrium, definitely dt is equal to dm into x into omega square. It is the tension acts at this point, tension provided by this part of the rod on the element. Okay. Now total tension at this point exerted by this rod on all the elements on right hand side of this point. That is the total tension developed at this point. So in order to obtain the total tension T, integral dt you write. Integral dt means dm into x into omega square. This type of elements can be imagined from x is equal to x to x is equal to L, because this length is equal to L, no? Length of the rod is L. That's why here x is equal to 0 at this point, because this is the axis of rotation. X is equal to x, x is equal to L. So at this point exactly, this x value is equal to length of the rod, so L. So between x is equal to x to x is equal to L, you integrate. This gives the sum of the centrifugal forces acts on each and every element away from the axis of rotation at this point. With the same force, sum of all these forces, the remaining part of the rod pulls all these elements towards the axis of rotation. That is the tension at this point. That is T. So T is equal to integral. What about mass of the element? The total mass of the rod is m, length is L. Then mass per unit length is m by L, no? If it is the mass per unit length, then what is the mass of this element of length dx means into dx. M by L is the mass per unit length. For this much length of the element dx, what is the mass means? Mass per unit length into dx, that is dm into x into omega square. Okay, therefore this is equal to m by L omega square is constant, you write outside, into integral x dx, limits from x is equal to x to x is equal to L. So therefore T is equal to m omega square by L into, when you do integration you will get x square by 2, no? Limits x to L square, L. Substitute the limits. M omega square by it 2 also you write outside here 2L into first upper limit. Instead of x you substitute L square minus x square. This is the tension in the rod at that point. M omega square by 2L into L square minus x square. This is the formula for tension in the rod at that point. Okay. Yeah. M omega square by 2L into L square minus x square. That is the tension in the rod at that point. It is rotating in clockwise. From the top, when you see, it is rotating in anti-clockwise direction. From the top, when you see, already I mentioned the direction here, no? The rod is rotating in anti-clockwise direction. From the top, when you see. From the bottom, when you see, it is rotating in clockwise direction. That depends on the position of the observer. Okay, Ashraf Khan. If it is rotating in clockwise or anti-clockwise direction, the centrifugal force, the direction of centrifugal force is always away from the axis of rotation only. If it is rotating clockwise or anti-clockwise direction, angular velocity direction changes, but centrifugal force is always away, acting away from the axis of rotation. There is no change. Poor network means remaining people you respond. Is the network is properly reaches you or not? Remaining people, you please respond. Varshit Reddy, I think your network is properly not there. Okay, you check them. Okay. So most of the students responding that the signal is some okay, not okay. Signal is okay. Varshit Reddy, you check your system. Okay, right. Right now, okay. Stop chatting. MV Rao, Varshit Rao. Okay. Right. This is the another point. Now we will do the problems. Now we will do problems. Okay.